Hello, everybody, wherever you may be. My name is Larry. My call sign is Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'd like to welcome you back to my shack here in the Pacific Northwest of Oregon. This is Ham Radio Live, show number 86. It's almost the end of November already. Can you believe it? Christmas holiday season's here. Shopping, shopping, shopping. Yes, it's November 30th, 2020. A very, very happy Monday to you all. Thanks for joining us here today. I'd like to ask you to please subscribe and hit the bell icon, especially the subscribe button. Helps people find the channel who would like to learn about ham radio, develop a skill in our hobby, hopefully at least the ability to want to take the test, get their license, and be able to join us all on the air. I'll promise you, you're not ever going to have ads here, okay? No monetization of this channel. I do it because I love doing it. It's my way of giving back. So if you'd please hit the subscribe button, I'd appreciate it. I want to talk today about beacons. You know, one of the questions, by the way, my father-in-law, Bill, is coming back. Kilo November 6, India Ocean Papa, coming back to visit with us. He's going to go to Memphis with us at the beginning of next week. So he's going to spend a little extra time with us. Should be a lot of fun. And we're looking forward to his arrival for sure. One of the things that he asked me recently, he said, how do I know which continent I can work or which area of the world I can work, was his exact words. And the way that ham radio people figured this out long ago was to be able to use a thing called a beacon. Now, there's a project out there called the International Beacon Project. It's pretty cool. They have these ham radio beacons that literally send their call sign out and then 4 successive tones. So 4 tones right afterwards, each at different power levels to help you learn just how well the propagation is between you and that continent. It's pretty cool. Now, these beacons are located throughout the world, literally in every continent that there is except for Antarctica. The frequencies are always the same, and all of the beacons really wait their turn to transmit their call sign and then the 4 successive tones. So the 4 tones, which are each at different power levels, first one at 100 watts, the second one comes in at, I believe it's 10 watts, right? 10 watts? Let me look at my notes here real quick. First one comes in at 100 watts, second is at 10, and then the next one's at 1 watt, and the fourth one's at literally 1/10 of a watt or 100 milliwatts. So 4 different power levels to let you know just how accurate you can reach that area of the world. It's really cool. Now, MFJ built a really cool product for this, and it's neat to have on your desk, and it's a very affordable product too. For a Christmas list, man, you can figure out where to work in the world. It's pretty cool. It's called the Mfj 890. Here's what it looks like. Okay. Now, it has your 5 bands right there. Now, it won't pick up the beacons. That's one thing very important to let you know. It will not pick up the beacons. Alan, good evening. Alpha Bravo 8, Alpha Sierra. Nice to see you, Alan. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. It won't receive the beacons. It doesn't have a speaker on it, so you're not going to hear the beacons, but it does have a timer built in with UTC to let you know which beacon's transmitting at that point. Okay, and it's all based on which frequency band you're listening on. Again, frequencies that are used for beacons are between 20 and 10 meters. So you simply turn it to whichever frequency you want to use, and you can see the lights moving around because the timer knows which beacon is transmitting based on an internal antenna that's right here inside this unit that picks up your local time transmission frequency. And what's neat is they thought about this pretty carefully. They didn't just make it for North American users, they made it for users all over the world. So if you have a country that you pick up a time signal in, maybe it's in Europe, right? You have a time signal that you listen to for your GMT, it will pick that up. There's inside here, there's a bunch of jump switch, little jumpers. You adjust it and you basically can set it to your radio that you would use. For here in our country where we're at, it would be WWVB. So it picks up WWVB's signal, its transmit signal, and then it is able to connect the time to UTC. From there, what this little wonderkind does is it will put on a timer based on its internal computer clock, knowing which area, which beacon in the world is actually transmitting at that time. So you look at this, and if you're tuned to one of the frequencies, and what's really nice is the frequencies are right here on the dial. So you simply turn the dial to the frequency you want to check propagation on, and it's going to go through the beacons and tell you where they are. Now, these beacons transmit in cycles of about 3 minutes. So what that means is at first, they'll have a transmit signal that's going to start off, and it's going to give out their call sign in Morse code. The Morse code is at 22 words per minute, okay? So Morse code signal comes first from the beacon, and that's at 100 watts. Then it goes through 4 1-second dashes. First one at 100 watts, second at 10, third one at 1 watt, the fourth one at 1/10 of a watt, or 100 milliwatts. Then at the end of each 10-second transmission, the beacon then goes to the next highest frequency. So if you want to follow the beacon along, this product makes it really simple. All you have to do is simply click up to the next frequency band. In this case, it'd be like this. So you would go from here, you'd click up then, now you're on 17 meters. Now you're on 15, 12, and 10. Makes it simple. You can see just how high up you can work it. Makes it nice. And because it's all automatic, if you read the instructions which you download over the internet, you simply take off the 4, and this is important, okay? Don't take off the 4 inner screws. Please don't do that. Take off the 4 outer screws that are on the 890, okay? You take off the 4, and then it comes apart from the case. You'll see the jumpers, and then you just adjust the jumpers to fit your area, whichever part of the world that you live in. It's pretty cool. So it allows you the opportunity to literally customize your 890 for where you live. Then it also will help you to keep track of all the beacons. So once this little gizmo knows that, you know, where you live, it knows then what frequency to tune into as well, because you set that up in the jumpers as well. It's brilliant. It just goes all by itself. I think it's pretty cool. It's a fantastic device. And like I said, you know, my father-in-law asked that question, well, how do I know where I can work? I'd like to work outside the United States or North America. And this little guy right here, it's not very big. It's maybe 8 inches by 6 by about 2 inches deep. That's all it is. Weighs maybe a pound. That's all it is. And basically, you can either manually sync it or you can sync it to your atomic clock. But what you do is you have to make sure the jumpers are set correctly. That's the most important part, okay? So what I'll do here, I'm looking for the pictures to show you the inside of it to give you a good idea and also give you an update too. Yesterday morning, the Ham Radio Club came. And have you ever had one of those days where it just goes so bad that your whole day is like, ah, but then something cool happens and you just kind of smile? That was my yesterday, literally. It was horrible. What happened was only one of the 2 guys showed up. So thankfully one did. And then we got the antenna up. We were going to get put onto the adjustable mast to tune it. And the poor thing got caught on one little branch of a rose bush in our yard. And the guy's backing it up so we could put on the adjustable mast. And I said, stop, because I could hear the fiberglass starting to stress on one of the spreaders. And he kept going, unfortunately. And we've got a couple of spreaders to fix. So it's unfortunate. But, you know, life's too short. It just, you know, it's a thing, and it's not, you know, it's not his fault. He felt horrible. He felt that he just wished, you know, he's like, Larry, I broke your antenna. And I said, it's just an antenna. That means tomorrow's another day. So we'll get a new base spreader section for it. Simple fix, maybe an hour. That's all it takes, really. Everything else is built. Just put the new spreader center, main section in, and then connect everything up to it. Good to go. One thing nice about the 1848, it's really easy if you have any repairs. It's very well built that way. Let me show you a little bit on the inside of what the Mfj 890 Beacon Monitor looks like, because it's kind of cool, but I do want to show it to you because, again, you have to download the instructions. So just in case you don't see this, you'll remember it, all right? Inside the 890 is a printed circuit board, okay? Now, you can see where the pen's pointing. There's position 1, position 2, position 3, H and L. Okay. So on these jumpers here, I believe it's where you set your clock for which continent you're in, so it knows which time frequency signal to tune into, because they're all on different frequencies, okay? So that's where you check that. And that's on the inside. You just move the jumper over in the configuration it needs to based on the instructions to where you live. Pretty simple. Makes it nice. Then the next part that you have to do is you have to let it know where you live, okay? Now, in this case, I need to let it know I'm in the Western United States. So I adjusted the jumpers in a way that lets it know I'm in the Western US. And that's necessary for time, okay? Because it's going to take the GMT, adjust it out for where I'm located, plus or minus UTC. So when the timer goes off on all these frequencies, it's going to be able to blink the right beacon because it knows two things: which station to tune into for the time. Second, which time zone I'm in, so it knows which beacon is flashing, okay? Keep in mind, again, the beacon doesn't transmit very long, 22 words per minute. First thing it transmits is going to be its call sign at 22 words per minute, then 4 1-second long tones. First tone at 100 watts, second at 10, third at 1 watt, fourth at 100 milliwatts, or 1/10 of a watt, okay? Then, if you can pick it up, and you're able to pick it up at a really, low watt level, say you pick it up at 10 watts, man, you're going to be able to pick it up really well. What do they sound like? Okay, let's take a listen real quick. We'll kind of zoom in. I've got a lot of noise here, and I've got some antennas that I'm working on. So let you hear on 14100 what we're able to hear, hopefully. This is 14.100. So this is the 20-meter band, and we are tuned in to the same frequency that the International Beacon Project works on around the world. No beacon transmits at the same time. They work individually. The second thing is they only work one at a time and at the maximum power of 100 watts. That's all. So, you don't need a 1,000-watt receiver or transceiver to be able to work it, because they're only working at 100 watts like most radios are. So we'll keep listening here and listen for some Morse code from one. Right now, according to what mine's showing, looks like maybe Peru just went off and now possibly Venezuela. So, again, I'm in the Western United States. Alexander, good evening. Hello, UK. Yes, it is late there. Thanks for joining the show, Alexander. I know it's late. Sorry about that. Plymouth, Stephen Whittingham. First time on the channel. My goodness, Stephen. I mean this. Thank you very much for coming to the show. Appreciate you being in there. Thank you. My goal still is going to work UK. We're going to get that antenna, the parts, and get it fixed and all that. Yeah. Oh, Alex, thanks. Life's too short, man. It's just a thing. At first, it was hard. I'm going to be honest. I bent over. I said a long prayer and said, please don't let me scream right now. And I just let it go. So that's the way it goes. So 14100, you listen. And then when you hear a beacon on your rig, it gives you an idea of where the continent is. And what's cool is you might be able to work that far, even at 100 watts. But what's really neat, if you love QRP, like Alex, right? You're on a foundation license there in the UK. 10 watts, buddy. You can work it. And what's neat now in the US, Alex, we have two beacons. We have one that's in New York City. That is 4UN, I believe. Yeah, 4U1UN. And then in the West Coast, we have W6WX. But each one, along with their current call signs are listed right there on the face of this. It's well done. The screening is well put onto the product. Looks like it'll hold up pretty well. Again, the MFJ 890. Pretty cool. It's bright in there today. You know, I got to figure this out because, again, let me move it. Thanks for letting me know. That's good feedback. I need that. Thank you. Let me move this back. Hopefully that's better. Is that good? Hopefully. Because with the new camera, it picks up so much that it can be deceiving to what I see on the screen. Because I noticed when I watched yesterday's show, I was mortified. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm in a cave. It looks awful. So that's why I put in the description, please forgive the way it looks. So there you go. So not much happening, it sounds like, with beacons, although the propagation looks like it's good on 20 today. 20 is supposed to be hopping pretty good. Let me move to mine. I do have one antenna hooked up still, doing some service on another one. So let's move over to that one, and we'll take a listen on that one. So I'm currently tuned to 14.1 on my rig here. So this is connected, this is right on the same 20-meter beacon frequency, and we're working right about gray line, pretty close. So we should be picking hopefully something up shortly. Just listen for some Morse code. That's what we're listening for, is Morse code. And once we get some Morse code, I'll give you an idea according to the beacon monitor where it's at. Again, this is the MFJ 890. This is a great little Christmas present, you know? If your significant other is maybe looking to get you something for Christmas, and you're kind of thinking, you know, I'd like to get something, but I don't want to break the bank, this might be your product right here. I mean, it's not terribly expensive, but it's pretty cool. It's nice to have. It's one of those things, if you have in your shack, it's not going to kill you to buy it, and it's decent. I know that there's lots of sales going on right now, like 10% off, 20% off sometimes at places. Currently retails at $139.95, so about $140 before tax. Okay. So again, this is the MFJ Beacon Monitor. It's the 890. There is, gosh, a lot of beacons all over the world. So again, the way it works is going to hear 100-watt Morse code at 22 words per minute. Okay. And then 1 second 100-watt tone. 1 second 10-watt tone, 1 second 1-watt tone, and then finally a 1 second 1/10 of a watt, or literally 100 milliwatt tone. That's it. Oh, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Hi, Ward. Thank you, buddy. Hello to Southern California, my friend Ward. Whiskey 6, Whiskey Delta. Yeah. So lots, that's a great way. This, I think, is the best way. I'll leave this in the background till we hear something, hopefully. Best way to work DX and know where you can work in the world is through the beacons. It really is. It's a great, great thing. And who knows how long we'll still have them, because it's expensive to keep these things going. You know, you got to pay for a transmitter. It's on 24/7. These aren't on timers. They only are on certain times a day. They're 24/7. So you can hear them any time of day or night. And wait. There's something. Okay. So according to my timer, that's Finland. That's Europe right now. That's awesome. Very cool. So hearing a little bit of Europe. That's really cool. Nice. That's the MFJ 890. Gives you an idea of where that beacon noise is coming from. So that's really cool. And I think what's neat about this, let me give you the website. There's also a website that you can go to find more out about it. And I think what's neat about the website, my friends, is that when you do the website, it has the opportunity to show you like where you are, right? And which beacon's going off where, like which call sign is currently transmitting. It's really sweet. I think it's cool, but you know, doesn't take much to impress me sometimes. My wife says it all the time. Anyway, let me just take a quick look here and I'll show you what the screen looks like on the page, because, you know, if you want to look, you can go online and find it yourself. It's really cool. The International Beacon Project can be found at N as in Nancy, or November, right? So November, Charlie, Delta X-ray Foxtrot.org. That's November, N is November, C is in Charlie, okay? D is in Delta, X is in X-ray, and F is in Foxtrot.org. Once you get on, it looks like this, okay? Kind of. But it gives you an idea there based on that picture. And I did take another photo of it so you can have a better idea of what it looks like, you know, when you connect to this, so that you have an idea, you know? I mean, this way at least you have an idea of really what it looks like, because, you know, it's one thing to talk about. It's another thing to say, okay, well, here's what it looks like. And this is, you know, how it could apply to you. And I think what's neat, what I love about this thing, about the MFJ 890, is it helps you without going on to another internet site. Simple. I mean, right there, right, literally in the palm of your hand, where the continent is that you can work from. And that to me is really cool. So let me just make sure I'm sending the right picture over, because one thing I've found lately is that the screenshots here are a little bit small for me, and I don't want it to be that way for you. I want to be able to find the right one right away, send it your way, and be able to make it work. By the way, neat stuff that happened yesterday. We had the antenna issue that happened. It was hard, really hard, because you put so much love and time into something and then things happen. Just, it's unfortunate. But so we're going to end up putting it in the backyard. It's going to be lower, much lower than I wanted it, but it's the way it's going to be. That's okay. Just the way it works out sometimes. God provides, and in his own time. So I accept that. What's neat, though, is that there's a bucket list radio I've wanted forever. Okay, I've talked about the K3 here for a long, long time. That box right there is the K3. Haven't opened it yet. Wanted to talk to you first. So anyway, the K3's in that. But the Yaesu 5000 for me is like a bucket list radio. I'm a knobs and buttons guy. I love to adjust things. It comes from my days of shortwave DXing. Love to adjust, massage those filters, and really bring in the signals best I can. That's the fun part of radio for me. So, finally, the 5000. Neat story behind it. Anyway, here are the beacons all over the world. Gives you a good idea. Quite a few of them, right? I mean, look, you can work all the way into Peru in South America, all the way up in the northern part of Canada. You can work Hawaii in the middle Pacific, or if you want to work the South Pacific, there's New Zealand, the ZL6 Bravo. You want to work in the middle of Asia, right in Russia. Romeo 90, right there. 90, excuse me, 90, pardon me. And then, of course, the Middle East, 4 X-ray 6 Tango Union. Africa, they've got 3 of them. See that? Right there on the northwest corner of Africa, Charlie Sierra 33B, pardon me, 3B. It's a little small font for me. And then Madagascar's got their own. That's 5Z4 Bravo. And then South Africa, Z Sierra 6 Delta November. Pretty cool. Live unboxing. No. Yeah. I know. A lot of people have done that. And I did that once, and I kind of thought, it came across to me as I was really so proud of the moment, like real proud, and I just felt like it came across as, to me, arrogant, and I'm not that kind of person, so I struggled afterwards with that. So, but we will do that. But I will tell you, and Ward hit it really well yesterday, because I was chatting with him, because he knows how much I've waited for the 5000, and I said, you know, this one will always be special. This will be the one I know is supposed to stay here forever. And he said, every time I see your smile when you use the 5000, I'll know why. And he's right. Yeah, it's true. So neat how it happened. Anyway, so beacons, great stuff. The 890 retails about $140 before tax. It will work in the background. This is on a 9-volt battery right now. I don't have it hooked up. It does have a little AC 12-volt a 12-volt DC connector comes with it. Now, it comes with, in the box, it comes with a connector that'll connect to your power supply. So you can just have it running off your power supply, or do what I did. Just put yourself a 9-volt battery in there when you're putting those jumpers together, and you're good. It picks up time signals from literally every continent on Earth. It's very simple, very light, and will go just about anywhere you'd like it to. That's the MFJ 890. A beacon monitor. That's pretty much it, but it does help you know where to work. Channel news, good stuff. Had a chance to speak with Cal at DX Commander. Callum is a neat guy. Callum McCormick, M0MCX. Had a chance to speak with him a little bit about, the Nebula and his DX Commander Classic. Both are great antennas. Callum doesn't make junk. And I made a comment on my last show where I said his antennas aren't cheap. Let me clarify what I mean. He didn't bring it up to me. I brought it up to me because I, shoot myself to death over things that could be misinterpreted. When I say cheap, I mean bad quality. I will tell you if I get something of bad quality, you'll know. You'll know it's not good quality, I'll tell you. But with his products, he really overbuilds everything. Everything is built so strong, and so it's designed to last a long time. He realizes that you're spending a lot of money, and he wants to make sure that you're pleased. So he doesn't ever, kind of go like on the cheap side on parts to be able to make a bigger profit margin. Callum's DX Commander line is actually some really high quality parts that go into his verticals antennas. They're great. So the Nebula, we will buy it. We're going to buy it. We'll get it up. Now, my issue is going to be up front. We have an ordinance in my town here that no antenna can be 50 feet or higher. So the Nebula is about 58 feet. Well, that's going to probably just mess up 80. Now, antennas are Callum's part. He knows them backwards and forwards. So I've checked with him to make sure, hey, look, as long as 20, 40, 17, that's what it's not touched. As long as 20 and 40 especially are good, I'm in. So it looks like we'll get the Nebula. We'll get it up. We'll get it tuned and ready to go. But the one thing, there's some things I know about Cal's antennas. One, the quality is strong. Two, the price is affordable. Price it out compared to any other antenna product. For example, the DX Commander Classic. That'd be comparable to, well, go to any of those 8 or 9 band vertical antennas out there. Pick a 6 band vertical antenna. That's a vertical antenna. Price it out. Compare it to his. He'll win every time. And he's got better parts. So Callum McCormick, you'll find him at dxcommander.uk. That is dxcommander.uk. So just go to dxcommander.uk. You'll find his product store right there with all of his antenna products. In fact, get one of his verticals. Just get a couple of his stack verticals. The verticals that just are by themselves. He's got a package where you can buy multiples, and then talk to him about running just some end-fed dipoles up them to make yourself a directional vertical array, phased vertical array. Woohoo! You'll be one happy little camper. Callum's a good guy. So find him over at dxcommander.uk. He'll take care of you. Tell him I sent you, would you? I'd appreciate that, because I'd like him to know that at least some people do watch the channel and that they have said that they've found the information out or heard about it on this channel, because I do believe in giving you the best information I can. Okay. So some good stuff coming. The K3 will have on the desk here working hopefully tomorrow. My father-in-law arrives tomorrow. It should be fun. Looking for that. Alan, yeah. AB, well, hold on. Don't make that choice yet. No, don't make that choice yet. I know, because I thought the same thing. I got a little alpha here going, don't I? See, that's the thing with the 4K screen, the 4K camera, it's like you notice everything now. It's like, So before you make that, do me a favor, Alan, reach out to Cal and ask him, tell him about your product, your space restrictions. He'll have an answer for you. He will. He's good about that. So yeah, you'd like him. You'd like him very much. 12-meter mast to a dipole mast or dipole. Yes. Yeah. Good stuff. Absolutely. So we're going to be doing the K3. Wow. Too many radios. I'm not going to go over it because it sounds like I'm bragging. I don't mean to. I just don't. This is one time in my life where God has blessed me in a way that I have just been able to do things I could never, ever do before. And I'm just truly humbled by that. I don't want it to come across if I'm bragging. The products you're seeing coming to the channel are things that for the most part were dreams of mine. That's the honest truth. So these are things that I can only hope for someday. And by the grace of God, they're coming and they're going to be here and we'll be able to use them, review them, and hopefully share the joy of them, okay? The 101, I think, is going to be moved along. I do think so, only because I do want to get the new K4. And the reason I'm getting it may surprise you. The reason I'm getting the K4 isn't because I want the latest and greatest. I'd keep the 101, no problem. I would. It's the best radio I've ever used. The reason for it, if you haven't already noticed, behind me is a pillow. Okay? Because of my disability, it's hard for me to sit for long periods of time. In fact, much of my day is walking. Now, I don't want to get too far off track, but my point is, I need a radio I can use somewhere where I can relax. I can get some ice on my back, lay down, my legs in the air in a zero gravity position, and just be able to take it easy. That's what I need. So having a radio I can use portably is huge for me. Now with the 101 and the SCU LAN 10, there's a lot of issues there, how I feel at least. Issues of things that I don't really find good. For example, on the SCU LAN 10, you can't do Morse code. That's one thing you can't do. You can receive it, you can't send it. There's a latency issue with it. Now that might change in firmware updates. That could happen. Okay. The other thing, and it's not Yaesu's fault in this, it's just that I want a box with knobs. I want to tune stuff. I want to push buttons. I want to flip switches. It's a radio. That's how I learned. That's how I want to play with it. So the two products available to do that with is the Flex Radio. The Maestro is fantastic. It really is. The second one is the Elecraft K4. And I really like the K4. I love the connectivity on the back. So we're going to go all in on the K4. And the reason for it is because it has the remote K40 coming out. I want to be one of the first ones to get it because I need it. I'd love to be able to lay down, relax, and be on the radio with all of you guys more. It's hard for me to do that. Let's look at your comments. Be pretty cool. Alexander, not bragging, it's passion. Oh. Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, I'm not a person that's ever tried to talk about myself or brag. I just love radio. My whole life. In fact, it's funny. The thing that got me started when I was 3 years old with the radio, I've told you the show before where we've done the show and tell thing. I was 3 years old. It was an old record player with a film strip projector. I was a little child, had one, and I'd rock back and forth, say it's Columbia Broadcasting System. Anyway, I want to buy one. And the reason I do is because that's how it all started for me, way back when I was like a little kid. And so I'd love to have one someday as a memento and put it on the table behind me there as a remember of where I came from, just to remember it. Be fun. But, understand that any radio is really a good radio. There's not a bad radio really made that's out there right now. Whatever your passion is, whatever you love, go for it with both feet. Get it. If you're not licensed yet, please go through either the American Radio Relay League to hook you up with a license club, local club to help you get started, or go in your local country, find out about the exam. You can find out. Just check with your local government officials about how to get licensed and then get on the path to do so because you'll love it. You can use text messaging. You can send pictures. You can talk on a microphone. The other thing you can do, which is really cool, you can do television. Did you know that? You can do slow scan or fast scan TV, buy a ham radio, send it to another country. My gosh, how fun. You could have a ball with it, but the main thing is to get you on the air. We want you so much to get on the air. That's why we're here. So we want you to please just go make that internet search. Find out how you can get yourself on the air. That's the main thing, okay? Let's take a quick look at the rig cam. We'll see if there's anybody out there we can say a quick hello to, okay? We'll come off of 14.1 and we'll see if we can pick up a signal. We'll tune first. Oh, we're on now. Okay, just realized we're on the dipole. That's right. Now, I'd love to get the dipole up higher. Like just 15 feet more would make me so happy. Yeah. See, I'm doing some service work because we had problem on CQ calling on Friday where the first antenna was given feedback, remember, on the mic. I don't want that to happen. So I want you guys to enjoy the experience as much as I enjoy doing it with you. I love doing this with you guys. So I don't want it to be feedback issues. I don't want you guys to be dealing with that. So for me personally, I want it to be right. That's why I've got the box opened up in the backyard on the AV680. I just want to make sure everything's okay and seal it back up, clean it, make sure it's okay. Hey, the Zygo G90, that's a great radio. By the way, that's on sale right now too. I believe Gigaparts has it on sale. The G90 20 watt total output SDR, not great noise, blanket noise reduction, but got you on the air, and that's all that matters, Alexander. And what I love about it is you have something that is workable, it's easy to understand, and it gets you on the air. What I love about the Zygos that I think more ham radios should do, by the way, which is their SWR test. My gosh, they have an instant SWR calibrator on that, well, not calibrator, but analyzer on it, so you can see how your antenna's doing. It's a fantastic radio, man. You've got a good one there. It's a great radio to start out with. Just don't do what I did. Don't sell it. Keep it, just for old time's sake. Hold on to it, because why sell it for less than you bought it for? Because it's going to be worth more to you down the road because it was the first one you used, right? Yeah, mine was a 7300, and so for me that was. But I did tell the guy if he ever sold it to please let me know. All right. Any more ham radio stuff? Questions, comments, issues? We do have. My gosh, 7 thumbs up. Oh, thank you, guys. Wow. Wow. My wildest dreams. I never expected it to be like this on YouTube. Doing this, I just didn't. You honor me by this. So thank you guys. Thank you very much. We're going to be working with the Chameleon MPass 2.0. I know it's been reviewed to death on the internet. We're going to do it in a different way. One of the number one questions I receive on the shows is, I need an antenna that's going to be stealthy. Okay. I need a stealthy antenna that's going to be able to keep me on the air. That one will. I know it will. But the beautiful part of it is another thumbs up. Jeez. Thanks, you guys. I'm honored by that. I mean that. My point is that what you do with this is you can put it on your handrail of your deck. You could put it in the backyard. You could put it alongside your house, put it next to a tree and hide it. No joke. This is going to be an antenna, and we'll be reviewing it in a different way. We're going to be reviewing it in a way as to keep you on the airway. And we're going to do an entire CQ calling show just with the MPass 2.0 by Chameleon. Now, there's 2 ways to use that antenna. You can either use it as the full vertical, that's using both the mill whips together, or you can use it as a hanging antenna for a dipole, which is nice because then you get all that wire which they supply with the kit and the backpack, and you can use it that way. Pretty simple stuff. The second thing we're going to be getting, and I think we ordered it today from Richard at MFJ, is the MFJ Big Ears antenna. I don't have the model number for you, but however, what's cool is it goes 20 through 6. It's adjustable, so it's similar. If you've ever used one of their big stick products, their big sticks are fiberglass, basically sticks. They look like about maybe about an inch around, and then they have a area that comes out the top that's fully adjustable, and you tighten it by an Allen wrench. Okay, that holds the metal section of the antenna in place. Makes it simple, so you can tune it to a frequency resonant right where you want to work, and then go to work with it. It's a remote antenna. Now, the Big Ears antenna works under the same principle. It has 2 fiberglass spreaders that come out. It does come with a tripod. And then you basically have one variable coil on one section that you can clip an alligator clip, similar to the high gain AV680 vertical on its top hat, to be able to adjust up the 75, 80 meter band where you want to work, right? So you clip in that area where you're happy with the SWR because you want to work in that place, right? And it allows you to work. Nice. So with the Big Ear antenna, you adjust out both ends. They're on 45s. The only issue I've heard is wind. Wind can be hurtful to those fiberglass 45s. So make sure that you guy it down. okay, just to keep it from wind load where it can tip over and maybe crack one of the fiberglass pieces. That I know too well right now. And it's not MFJ's fault. It's not anybody's fault. Just was not supposed to happen yesterday. So the point is, you get it up and then you tune it for 80. The rest of the frequencies are already there. Yeah, you just adjust the length of the adjustable metal masts that come out of the edge of the fiberglass. You just adjust them. Perfect. You adjust your SWR. And if you're blessed like Alexander to have like a Xiegu G90 where you can run a quick sweep on that SWR without pulling out your antenna analyzer, man, you're ready to go. So you use it, and it's cool because it goes 40 through 6. So what my goal is to bring that antenna with us to Hawaii, and we're going to use it on Waikiki, then to Kauai, and then what I'd like to do is use it on Maui, but also try and get up maybe a quarter of the way or so, maybe halfway up Haleakala Crater. Haleakala at the top is about 10,000 feet high. So if we get up maybe halfway or so, might be 5,000 feet in elevation. Now, it won't be too cold yet, but we'll be able to have the antenna up, the ICOM 7300 up, and the solar panels up with the charge controller and the battery so we can make calls. I'll use the phone as my Wi-Fi hotspot, and we'll be able to do the show live for you. So that'll be fun. We'll be live from the side of Haleakala, and we'll make some calls at 5,000 feet in elevation from the middle of the Pacific. That'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. But we're going to use the MFJ Big Ears antenna to do that with, and it's a specialist at going on to 40 meters because you clip it where you want to work. And what's cool, you can use up to legal limit on that sucker. How's that for neato stuff? I think it's great. Some of the stuff you can get for ham radio is cool. Really cool stuff. Like the Chameleon, that 2.0 MPass antenna. That's really cool stuff. They had the first iteration of it. Then they built it better, made the 2.0. Okay? 2.0's more improved, has better mill whip extensions, now made out of brass, and it works really good. So that's a neat product, how it, evolved into a new generation, see? And some of these products that are out today for radio, same way, the FTDX10, be interesting to see how things go with that. I think it's a bit overpriced, but be patient. Like with everything in ham radio, the initial price, and then it goes down. Be patient. It'll save you hundreds of dollars, trust me, it will. Any more comments? Yeah, Alexander, analyzer and tuner is great. Also planning on making a portable rig in the future. So if I do upgrade, I love it. Yes, many guys love the Xiegus for portable use. And it's a great radio for that because it doesn't use a lot of power to run it. And there's a lot of radio there. There's a lot of radio, Alexander. So that's a great one. So coming to the channel, we will do the DX Commander Nebula test. We're going to review it. We'll have it up here in the backyard. Have some fun with that. I'm excited for that because I really have wanted one of Callum's products on my property for a long time. When it's a good guy and you know he's a good, honest, fair man, you want to help people like that, especially when you know how kind they are and how good-hearted they are. Callum's one of those people, no matter what he tells you. So there's Cal. And then also some antenna review stuff from both Chameleon and MFJ. And then we're going to go back through the hands of time just a little bit on the FTDX 5000, still in production, by the way, but it came out back in 2010. Initial retail price, by the way, that radio was $6,500 US. No joke. So they've come way down since then, right? Yeah, be patient. All right. Then the K3 as well, which was kind of a bucket list radio. We'll see how well that goes. Yeah, hold on to it. If not, we can always sell it. But it's something I've always wanted to at least work with because I just love superhet rigs. Superhet rigs are great. And then the new K4 will come, which will replace the 101 MP. And that's it. So we're grateful to have them. And I'm really honored and grateful to share them with all of you. I mean that with all my heart. This show is so special to me because I get to spend the time with all of you. And I think one of the greatest joys isn't what I expected. I expected to hopefully help some people get licensed or licensed up. And that's happened. Thankfully, that's happened. But what I didn't expect was to meet so many kind people who I've considered to be friends, like you. Thank you. I mean that. That's sincere. Thank you very much. I never expected that. I'm just a simple guy. So this is something that was a big surprise to me. So thank you for that. Okay. We're going to close it because I've only got one antenna, and right now it's not doing too good. So we're going to go and work on the AV680. So I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. My pop-in-law is coming into town at 2 p.m., so we'll have a couple of hams back in the house, and we'll look forward to saying hello to you tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about some more products, and I'm not sure what we're going to do tomorrow. We'll figure it out. But we'll have some fun. Maybe make a couple of QSOs, and also hopefully work on the test, because we do want people to get on the air. Okay. Until tomorrow, God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful Monday, and thank you for joining me today. It does mean an awful lot. Please hit the subscribe button. The bell icon would honor me only by knowing when we go live. The subscribe button is the most important part because it helps us be found in YouTube's algorithm when people are searching for how to become a ham radio operator. I hope our channel helps them do that. At least gives them the passion to do it. So until then, God bless you. Take care of yourselves. See you soon. Sleep good. And tomorrow we'll do it all over again. Until next time, from the Shack of Kilo 7 Hotel November, a great big 73 from Alan, Alpha Bravo 8, Alpha Sierra, and myself. Goodbye, everybody. Take care and have a great Monday night.